Madam Speaker, I could spend time on this talking about the $22 million fiscal that's been put on this bill and how I think that that's just the tip of the iceberg. But I'd rather actually discuss what I feel like is the fading away of integrity in our democratic system, and through my experience in Ways and Means with this bill last week. Two different issues that I see integrity having a challenge here: the integrity of our democracy and the integrity of this institution. Let me talk about the integrity of our democracy. Well, we moved an amendment in there, the -106As. That amendment intended to remove the emergency clause off of this bill. That's it. Didn't change the substance of the bill, because the emergency clause really, in my opinion, takes away direct accountability from the citizens. 1902, Madam Speaker, is when our citizens in Oregon decided that they wanted to have a voice in what we pass out of this building. And if they disagree, they want to have a system, a referendum that they can go out and they can undo what we've done. But you know what? There's a loophole. And that loophole is the emergency clause. And so we attach an emergency clause. And I say, what is the emergency? Many compelling things that we need to deal with in our society. But what is the emergency on this bill? We had Representative Helm, who's done good work working on this for years. You know what? 91 days isn't going to change that. This bill lays out goals for 31 years. Guess what? 91 days isn't really going to hurt those 31 years. So what is the purpose of an emergency clause on this bill? I personally can think of no other purpose than to keep the voters from being able to weigh in. That's it. That's the only purpose I personally can discover for that. Madam Speaker, the second integrity issue that I experienced in there is what I think is a fading of the integrity of our institution. Madam Speaker, when I sit back and I see the Senate President come in and sit down in one of the tri-chair seats, one of the tri-chairs who's been very outspoken against this bill in its current form, and even put forward one of the amendments that we attempted to move. And when the Senate President has to come in and sit down and take a yes vote instead of that no vote, that bothers me. Madam Speaker, I understand that the rules allow us to do that, but just because we can doesn't mean we should. And then we went on to hear several people in that committee, or multiple anyway, say that they were going to give a courtesy yes. Well, that shows me that even the majority party has a number of members that are not ready to move this bill forward in its current form. Madam Speaker, we had the opportunity with the -102s to come to consensus, to walk out of this building continuing to work on a long-term resolution, but to walk out of this building with a very bipartisan bill with consensus that even had industry support. But that was rejected. And so, Madam Speaker, I recommend that we send this back to Ways and Means, that we take a second look at those issues, and for the integrity of this institution and the preservation of democracy, please send it back.